what that was at the end, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? We're going to talk just for a minute about our friend Jimi Hendrix. Sometimes we like to talk about influences and stuff here at Wildwood. You know why? Because guitar playing is fun. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And I play guitar all the doggone time. I get a chance to play guitar. Hours go by and I'm playing. And a lot of the initial impetus for me to play guitar and to continue to be inspired is the works of Jimi Hendrix. Now, in the last couple of days here, I've been seeing some troubling things on YouTube of people, and everyone has the right to their opinion. I'm not saying that that's not correct, but, you know, questioning the reverence that Jimi Hendrix is held in. And of course, I believe he deserves all of the delicious kudos that he gets for his glorious guitar activities. But, you know, a lot of the newer generation might think that Jimmy was sloppy, or a lot of the stuff that has been unearthed that is out, that, you know, of him playing out of tune and so on and so forth. People are questioning, well, why does he get put on the pinnacle of the greatest, you know, one of the greatest guitar players of all time? First of all, you know, the whole greatest guitar player thing is weird. We just talk about favorite guitar players, and certainly impactful guitar players. And you can't question the veracity of the impactfulness of Slim Jim Hendrix. I'm just going to say it, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll just talk to me about the personal effect Jimmy had on me. From a player's point of view, I just love the way he plays. His rhythm guitar playing, his songwriting, and his lead guitar playing were absolutely revolutionary, without question. That's the main reason why I wanted to play guitar, was because of Jimi Hendrix. To me, he was just the coolest cat ever to play the guitar. And rhythm-wise, you know, just the stuff that he did, you know, kind of that Curtis Mayfield-y way of playing rhythm guitar, along with his own kind of take on it. You know, we do the cleaner, you know, kind of stuff where he's going. All that kind of stuff is totally Hendrixian, that where I get all that kind of, you know. All that kind of stuff I take from old Jimmy. And a lot of times he would choke up on the pick to get that kind of pinch harmonic. All that kind of stuff, which I think he was heavily influenced by Curtis Mayfield, without question, all that kind of stuff. A lot of times when he played blues things, you know, he'd put the middle pickup on and he would choke up on the pick to get that. That Hendrixian bend where you bend up on the B string like an A. He'd take a pitch, bend it up a whole step, and then add the vibrato. On the B string there, I'm bending up the 7th and A. I'm bending that B string at the 8th fret up a whole step. And then I'm catching the tip of my finger, the G string, as I'm up there. So when you're doing that kind of thing, you can get this kind of quasi Elmore James thing, which he was going for. You're doing that kind of thing to kind of sound like slide guitar. But Jimmy would always do these little fall off, which I love so much. And I think he got that from Hubert Sumlin, because Hubert would do like those kind of like technical term, but little fall offs that he would do. Now there, I'm not even hitting the D string and the A string. I'm hitting the G string and those other ancillary notes, those fall off notes, those 6/4 notes. That's just hammer on pull off. That little thing right there. Classic Jimmyism. Blues scale stuff, but and sometimes Jimmy would do scalar things that aren't really scales, but he kind of did them anyways, little pentatonic-y things like. We'd combine things. Sorry, just some random Jimmy-isms that we're doing for you here, ladies and gentlemen. These are the kind of things that I love Jim Hendrix, other than the songwriting, of course, his showmanship, and just, he was a cat of unparalleled proportion. You know, let's just talk about it. He was the man. There was a guy on the Inner Google saying, oh, the only reason why people saw Jimmy back in the day is because he smashed things. What? You got to remember the world before Jimi Hendrix and what guitar was used for before Jimmy existed, and then what it was afterward. And he was the guy, okay? I'm just going to say it. People are saying, well, he was sloppy. Think about the things Jimmy released in his time, ladies and gentlemen. He was a perfectionist. He wouldn't have wanted all this stuff to come out with him being out of tune and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He would have said, there's no way that stuff's going to see the light of day. But, you know, since he's been gone, of course, I'm a fan. I devour all that stuff. So I enjoy hearing all these different songs in embryonic stages that are being released. I dig it. But for people who are not privy to the fact of what Jimmy released in his time, he was a perfectionist. He wouldn't have wanted that stuff. But as a fan, I just got to have it. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Jimmy, for the magnificent things that you've put out. I know you're existing in the ethers somewhere, cruising along. You brought magic to the world with your guitar powers. That's all I'm saying. Greg Koch here, Wildwood Guitars, with this glorious Stratocaster from the Custom Shop that is indicative of, you know, Jimmy played a guitar upside down, and that bridge pickup being backwards like that and having the longer E string, D string, and D string resonating longer on the guitar has a particular tonal characteristic to it that is Jimmy-esque in nature. And I'm not going to say that, you know, the vast majority of the sound wasn't in the hands, but certainly these little aspects add a certain twang and a certain nuance to the tone that add to the Jimmy experience. That's all I'm saying. Some people will even say the larger headstock has additional resonance properties. I say, hey, you know what? If it works for you and if it inspires you, let the good times roll, right? All right, folks, Greg Koch here, caffeinated on this teal green metallic Custom Shop 1969 Stratocaster. We'll see you cats in the flip-flop.